Welcome to Built and Deployed, the video series where we look at systems architectures from OCI customers that have actually been built and deployed. My name is John Troyer. I am with OCI. Today I'm here with a very special guest, Amit Kumar. Amit is with BIAS, one of Oracle's partners. We really depend on our partners to help make us successful, make our customers successful. Today, we're going to talk about an actual customer deployment that Amit worked with and his team to put them on OCI. And today, we're going to talk about identity services and directories. Hey, Amit Kumar, thank you for joining us on Built and Deployed.
Thank you for having me, John.
Hey, talk a little bit about this customer. It's global customer. Big on-site, on-prem installation, moving to OCI, multiple data centers, already had Active Directory going. Talk a little bit about their existing setup and kind of the way that they bridge that out into the cloud with an existing identity and with an existing directory provider. That might be a bit surprising to people.
So John, in this particular case, we were migrating their enterprise financial applications, which was integrated with their OID OEM, when they were in on-prem. Now with OID OEM, they were on 11G version, and which was kind of pretty much getting, which was out of support already. So they were looking for a solution while migrating their whole financial application, working on a project to integrate Azure AD, with respect to Azure Cloud, and they were interested to know if we can do something about it. So what we did.
Let me stop you here for a sec. So they had Azure, Microsoft Azure AD as kind of the source of truth, primary service, syncing to on-prem.
Correct.
Exactly. And now we're going to put in the middle Oracle Identity Cloud Service, IDCS. As well, I guess it's a federated authenticator, the service provider role, right?
Exactly.
And it's sitting there, and it's going to bridge us over to both actually AD as well as Oracle directory services over in OCI.
Absolutely, and that's where what we propose them, that instead of going back and forth with IDCS, why don't we use IDCS here as a service provider, while they were already having Azure AD, Microsoft Azure AD, and use that as an identity provider, which was pretty much an architecture they loved when we pitched that idea. One of their requirement along with this whole setup was also to do MFA. So they wanted to do this multi-factor authentication enabled as part of this whole architecture. Starting from their financial application, which is getting authenticated by Azure AD, while the whole connectivity is going through IDCS. So that's what we ended up deploying for them.
Mm-hmm. Now, since we're talking architecture here, I do want to point out and have you point out the redundancy and design here in this architecture. It looks like there are redundant domain controllers, for one thing, inside OCI, as well as redundancy on the EBS asserter side. And both of those kind of controlled by load balancers, et cetera. Can you talk us through that a tiny bit?
Absolutely. So, they were already having their financial e-business suite architecture as a redundant, high availability architecture. When we planned for this RDCS architecture, when we deployed e-business suite asserter basically, ensures that IDCS and e-business suite understand each other. That's where we planned a two-node EBS asserter architecture. So in case if one fails, the other will take over the role. And then we connected it, not just with IDCS, but also with respect to their an offline, copy of their Active Directory, in OCI, which always, where we established the sync between their on-prem, AD as well, where Active Directory, where sitting in OCI along with the AD bridge and the redundant domain controller as a part of overall architecture, which gave them end-to-end high availability redundant architecture in case of any single component fails.
And one thing that's interesting here too is there's also a DR site that's in a completely different OCI region. So you also had IDCS connected to that redundant DR site because you've got a copy of EBS sitting there as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we ensured that, because IDCS, I mean, that's available globally, I mean, beyond region. So we ensured that we also deploy the AD Bridge and Active Directory along with e-business suite asserter in their disaster recovery site as well. And when the failover takes place, let's say from the application point of view, we activate the e-business suite asserter and e-business suite asserter along with the IDCS as a part of configuration, as a along with the failover exercise of the application, and that's where the whole architecture comes into a single system, even in case of failover to their disaster recovery location.
That's great. I mean, this was not just a migration, right? All these connections are still live, right? So there's the OCI connection on the main site to the DR site, also to Azure, also to the on-prem sites. Those are all maintained and synchronized. So it wasn't just a migration. That's actually a little more complicated to keep everything going and in sync and, like you say, highly available. So
absolutely, absolutely. And once customer test, the real test comes when you switch it and your users come and they do not even feel the difference, right? I mean, that's what the real litmus test of these kind of situation. And we went through very rigorous testing on the DR side with respect to this whole identity cloud solution, which we put there, and it came back with flying colors.
Well, speaking as an end user, that's always something I appreciate when my stuff doesn't go down and I'm trying to get it down. Hey, Amit Kumar from BIAS, working on an actual OCI customer project that was built and deployed. We were able to look at your systems architecture around OCI Identity Cloud Service today. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.
And thanks everybody for watching another episode of Built and Deployed. Stay tuned for some more episodes of how actual OCI customers have taken a system architecture, designed it, and built and deployed it.